This is iOS 27. Hello everyone, it's been a while since my last upload. Anyway, WWDC 2026 announced many features for iOS 27 and there is a lot to cover. This year, Apple finally delivered on its AI promises with a completely new Siri powered by a deep partnership with Google's Gemini. We also got major updates to the liquid glass design, making it more customizable and readable, plus new features to enhance child safety. Best of all, performance has been improved across all supported devices, including older devices, going back to the iPhone 11 from 2019. That's an impressive support period to up to 7 years. This is a complete guide to what's new, what's actually useful, and whether you should excited update to this fall. Now let's jump into the video. Let's get started. Alright, so let's start with the biggest feature of the WWDC, Siri AI. Apple is calling this an entirely new version of Siri rebuilt from the ground up. For years, we've been promised for a smarter Siri, and it's always been a bit of a letdown, but this feels different. The difference is noticeable. The old Siri was transactional. You gave it one command, or it did fail, or it's the memory of the conversation was gone. The goal of the new Siri to be conversational and to understand context. I think this feature actually integrated with Gemini, that the platform base has been linked up, and then that used it for the Android phone. So my Android phone is right there. This is the Gemini works on my older Samsung phone, Galaxy A51. Gemini, actually. So technically it put into new Siri and revamped it to make it usable experience. So why not? Also, you can now customize any Siri voices like actual and conversation interactions. Like I'm saying, these energetic voices that I use in my videos. Understanding since back then, a few years ago, that Apple's intelligence wasn't a thing. Siri now has her own dedicated application, making it much more usable and accessible than before. Since Apple acquired Siri in 2010, it had mainly functioned as a built-in voice assistant across Apple devices. So with the new Siri app, users can now interact with Siri in a new way that feels more similar to modern-made AI assistant like ChatGPT. The app allows you to review your previous conversations, revisit information you may have been forgotten, and easily find details from past interactions. This makes Siri more helpful for your productivity, organization, and everyday tasks, while providing a more personalized and conversational experience. So basically Siri is actually very improving since how many years has been passed, and since the AI brought in. So Siri needs a new upgrade. The big jump here is that the device model. Apple made these because Apple wants to protect you with privacy. So this fundamental change provides more secure conversation like private cloud compute and local processing. So I think this might work because when I search or ask something with ChatGPT a few weeks ago, it detects sensitive information and information that it is confidential. But with these on-device model, now I can analyze things privately and secure things that help me keep me a secret. So since this is a powerful device model that I wanted, so that at least I bought this iPhone 17 Pro last month. So this is definitely useful my everyday life. Alright, so let's dig into the most effective way of responses of all the iPhones. Performance. Well, basically Apple finally optimized performance to make it faster and more usable. This is why the iPhone 11 still supported. Not only that, we can also make the iPhone experience is really smooth. So I have this iPhone 13 and it's slightly faster and more usable. So yeah, it's really smooth. I guess Apple will make this performance boost because yeah. So even though my battery capacity is 72%, yeah, it's still smooth. I can even launch YouTube slightly faster. So yeah, it feels fast. I think the performance of this is actually the iOS 18, but on iOS 26, yeah, it makes me slower. But this update makes me faster. So yeah, betas makes unstable. So yeah, don't expect the slow performance of the betas. So yeah, anyway, let's jump into the demo side. Alright, so here's the iPhone 13 running iOS 27. So it's definitely very smooth, and yeah, so here's to prove the battery capacity of this iPhone. So yeah, here's the battery capacity. So 72%. So it basically that feel faster. It's like a miracle experience. So let's see, we can open camera, for example. So here's me right there. So hello. And yeah, the camera launches faster than, yeah, let's see the camera once again. 3, 2, 1, and oh boom. See how fast it application Photos app. Let's open Photos app, for example. Yup, it's, you haven't noticed the difference. So yeah, it's definitely faster. Overall, I can finally usable this phone. Well, why the heck I would need iPhone 17 Pro, even though this is not for the performance boost whatsoever. Anyway, reason why I upgrade to my 17 Pro because of the battery. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah, so as you can see on the demo, the iPhone 13 seems to be faster, even though this is a 72% maximum capacity. So yeah, so I think it's slightly faster because Apple made modification about CPU scheduling, which just allows you to prioritize your work and your processes, so that if you focus on this task, it will prioritize it. If not, it will load the processes. Yeah, this is very useful, especially when you're in a rush and you need faster performance. So the AirDrop receives 5 times faster, so which means I can transfer files 5 times faster. For example, so one time when I transferring my vlog videos to my iPhone 17 Pro, it seems to be a little bit slower because yep, the Bluetooth makes it slower. But this time Apple changed that and maximized the speed and tried to make it faster. So yeah, I really like the change that Apple does actually make, especially for professional cameras if you want to transfer from your iPhone to your Mac. So yeah, that's pretty useful feature. So now let's go to the liquid glass. Honestly, some users complaining that liquid glass may also affect the visibility because it blends the text in the glass, therefore it's harder to read. So Apple made the solution that now they add the opacity slider so that the people can now choose tinted or clear. I'm very glad that Apple made this feature and save a lot of people. So yeah, I definitely see liquid glass in there because yeah, I got the some glasses here, so without glass I can read text. Now with the solution, yeah, I think that thing is definitely useless. But still, I gotta keeping it balanced. To be fair, just like the iOS 26, so I like the liquid glass feature. So as we talked about earlier on the demo of the iPhone 13, Apple is adding some of the app icons. Yeah, you see on the intro to make it sharper and more defined. I think for me it's got a lot better, but it darkens. So yeah, a lot darkens, and then and it's a lot better. It's a lot better than iOS 26. And yeah, it's still worth it. By the way, in addition to Apple Intelligence, Apple also introduced several photo features. You can now edit your photos by using Spatial Reframing and Extend, which use AI to intelligently predict and generate parts of it. So yeah, how amazing that AI has, because yeah, all over the years since 2023, I think AI is is becoming the most dominant thing and most valuable thing now, because yeah, AI changed everything. Yeah, it's revolutionary. So yeah, this allows you to change the angle with position subjects or expand an image while keeping it natural and realistic. Personally, I really like this feature because it gives you more flexibility when editing photos without needing to take them. So yeah, save more time, guys. Apple introduced iCloud albums, which just makes it easier to share photos and albums with friends and family. Even better, they introduced the cross-platform like Windows and Android. So users can now access and view shared albums more easily, helping bridge the gap between different platforms. Another major improvement is the rebuilt photo search system. Searching for photos is now faster, smarter, and more accurate. So yeah, it looks like Windows indexing, search indexing. You can find pictures, videos, and screenshots and memories more quickly using natural language searches. Make it easier to locate content by going photo gallery. And yeah, that's all about photos. Now, time for the little ones. Yeah, the little ones right there. Next up is all about minors. Yeah, I'm still a minor, but I have 1 year left until 18. Yeah, I'm not a minor anymore next year. Apple has made child safety one of the three main focus area for its new software releases, introducing powerful and easy to use tools that help parents and children safer digital experiences for their children. These updates are based on expert-held research from the Focus on Balancing Technology uses with other important development activities. Yeah, people use nowadays is social medias and yeah, gaming and stuff. Parents can now set screen time limits for their children and choose which apps were allowed to keep them safe online. So also, you can now block gore and violent content in shared images, videos, and pictures. This protection works across messages, FaceTime calls, or even live FaceTime interaction. So some students are actually using Discord, and once on Discord there's something like inappropriate activities. So I hope Apple could fix that. They added a screen time limit and then some protection. Who cares? Yeah, who cares? So in my site, reason why Apple adding these child safety features, because Apple aims to provide parents and experts back in institute tools for managing the children's digital safety and help the development, while also strategically adjusting global regulatory process and securing future for the market governance by integrating young users into the ecosystem. So yeah, I think we should make it safer, because around a few months ago, Philippines actually tried to ban Roblox because some children are actually addicted to Roblox. So like that, Roblox actually add child safety features. Same thing with iOS and macOS. Yeah. So that's everything. iOS 27 and WWDC 2026. Pretty short, right? Overall, this is one of the biggest iPhone updates, including the Mac and the Apple Watch, and also the Vision Pro. I completely forgot it. The new Siri AI, faster performance, improved privacy, and more customizable liquid glass design to make the update feel more complete. Apple also introduced useful photo features and stronger child safety tools for families. These changes help make the iPhone experience smarter, safer, and more enjoyable. Whether you use the latest iPhone or an older supported models like the iPhone 11, these are plenty of improvements to look forward to. iOS 27 focuses on features that people can actually use in daily lives. If you're considering the beta, keep in mind that it may still have bugs and stability issues. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the video. So Tim Cook is finally leaving Apple sooner as expected. Thanks for watching and see you again for the next video.